Okay, so as promised, we will not dwell on the AI topics. They are certainly fun, entertaining, engaging, all that good stuff, and of course important. But we're going to go now back into our regularly scheduled program, and we're going to talk about sync licensing and some of the best practices and tips and insights I can share with you guys. If you are new to the channel, I have been doing this since 2008, so about 16 years into the game now. I have made all the mistakes, screwed up everything you could possibly screw up, and figured out a way to make it on the other end with full-time income. And so I want to share with you guys in this video how you can best stay at top of mind for the production music libraries, the publishers that either you're partnered with right now, or if you're fairly new to my channel or fairly new to sync licensing, I hope you'll get to partner with very soon. When you partner with a production music library, you certainly want to make sure you do your research first. You don't just find a company, send off your music, and hope for the best. If that's what you've been doing or that's what you were planning on doing, pump the brakes on that. There's actually another video you should watch on how to professionally and more appropriately approach those production music libraries. And I'll actually link that video below if you haven't watched it yet. But once you do get accepted, once you get their attention, you've approached them the right way, how do you make sure that you stay at top of mind for when they have new opportunities? How do you claw your way in, so to speak, to their inner circle? How do you make sure that you squeeze the most juice out of that orange or lemon, whatever your preferred fruit is, right? Well, the first thing is you need to understand that it's a two-way street. And just because they are now your publisher and your representative for the sync licensing world, that does not mean that it's all on them to make this two-way relationship work out great and beneficial. You have responsibilities here too. And so if you understand that going in, then you'll never be in a situation where you're just hoping and praying that they're going to keep you in mind in the future. But in fact, you're going to kind of make your own luck, right? So to speak, in this business, you're going to make your own path, and you're going to essentially, I wouldn't say force, but you are going to highly encourage your production music libraries to keep you at top of mind and to keep you included on maybe some really high quality, relevant, lucrative licensing opportunities. So the first thing you should do once you get accepted is ask them. This is always like the first thing you should be asking them after you get accepted with, let's say, an album or 3 or 5 tracks, whatever they accept from you. First question should always be, now what can I do for you? What do you guys have going on? And ask them specifically, who are you pitching to? Which clients do you have? What are some of the recent placements you guys have secured? What do you feel is coming up? Not in terms of what's your guys', what kind of music do you guys feel like you need more in your catalog, or I can do X, Y, or Z other genres. Do you guys want some of those? Rather than taking the initiative of or the responsibility of trying to force something on them, or you steering that conversation, open the door up for them to reveal more information to you, to say, what are you guys working on? What are your current needs? And the reason why you want to ask that is we don't want to send the music that they might have some use for someday. You want to send the music that they need right now, that they either have a client that's looking for it, or they know they're going to have a client in the next couple of months or weeks that is definitely going to be looking for it. So it's in your interest to open up that door to ask them what they're currently pitching for, what they need, and how you can potentially start serving those needs. So that's the first question, always. Secondly, as I said before, don't be sitting around waiting for them to tell you what they need. You should be proactive too. Do some research. What sporting events are coming up? What sporting seasons are coming up? Maybe there's movies that are coming out. Maybe there are big holidays, Christmas holidays, Halloween. Maybe there's certain events that are coming up that you feel you would be a great asset for your library to be able to pitch some music to those clients, if your library, again, does serve those clients. So rather than constantly waiting for them to email you and ask for something, proactively email them. Say, hey, you guys know that the World Cup is coming up. Do you guys know, obviously Christmas is coming around the corner. Are you guys interested, or do you have any potential interest in doing X, Y, or Z? You never know. One of those suggestions might be right on the head, and you are absolutely piercing through all the noise and telling them exactly what they probably wanted to hear, knowing, yes, we do want to be a part of that initiative, and yes, we definitely want you to start pitching for it right now. So in some ways, you kind of have to make your own path in this industry and not just wait for others to tell you what to create, if that makes sense, okay? With your library CEOs and your library partners, share with them relevant videos, articles, something that you find online that's really insightful, helpful, useful. Specifically when it comes to TV, film, sync licensing, please don't send them political articles. Don't send them maybe lifestyle things, unless you've had a conversation and you guys share some hobbies and it's something is really interesting to them. And the big caveat, the big asterisk I would put around this is, do this sparingly. Okay, you do not want to send them an article or a video every single day. I don't even think every single week. This is maybe once a month, maybe once every couple of months. This is an every so often kind of a thing. And again, only a video or an article or something that comes out with regards to maybe sync licensing, AI, something like that, that you feel is really relevant and obviously going to help make them smarter or more well prepared or whatever. It's just interesting and it has something to do with sync licensing and their business. So it's one of these ways where you can kind of transcend just this business transaction back and forth of like, all right, what music do you need? Okay, here's your music, here's the contract, back and forth. And you can kind of go into sort of colleague status where you're like just sending interesting articles or information that you're finding online that shows that you're with it, that you are certainly following some of these topics, that you are obviously, well educated on what's happening in our industry. So again, don't overwhelm people, don't spam them with a whole bunch of stuff. But every so often, people really do appreciate it, especially if you're hitting the nail right on the head for some really relevant articles or videos. And maybe some videos on this channel might be some of the ones that you want to do. But again, don't send too many. I don't want to be annoying to these people, okay? Definitely reach out on a quarterly or a semi-annual basis just to thank them, okay? So even though you might be having weekly, monthly interactions, texts, emails, Zoom calls, whatever it is, every so often, not every month, I'd say, again, 3 to 6 months, maybe once a year even, just send them an email saying like, thank you guys so much. Thank you, whoever it is, for, representing me and giving me a shot and being an advocate for me and, keeping me in mind for these opportunities. I really appreciate it. I'm a team player all the way. And I just want to keep being useful for you. So thank you. And that's it. You're not asking for anything else. You're not looking for anything. You just wanted to say, just out of the blue, thank you. I receive these every so often from some of you guys here on the channel, some in Sync Academy. And I can tell you, it totally brightens up my day. It's just such a beautiful, amazing. It takes almost no time to do it, but I can tell you the lasting impact on the person who is receiving it, just an anonymous, not anonymous, but just a random, no real reason. Even if you don't have any reason to thank them, you're just thinking about them, and you really appreciate that they're there, doing their best to try to advocate for you and get some placements out there. It does go a long way, and it's not brown nosing and kissing butt and anything like that. And obviously, make sure again how you're approaching these topics. You do need to make sure that you're not looking for tit for tat. You're not giving them something because you expect something in return. This is about thanking with no expectation. You're not looking for anything. Again, outcome independence. We've been talking about that a lot, right? So that's what we want to do all the time. And of course, one thing that I've been doing, and I encourage you guys to do, is send Christmas cards at Christmas time and maybe a gift basket. But again, nothing more than like 20 or 30 bucks. Like, don't even go up to 50 or 100. Forget it. No. Again, this is not about overwhelming them with, whoa, like that was a really expensive Christmas gift. Don't make it uncomfortable. A $20 or $30 gift card, or even just a Christmas card with a little, Starbucks gift card in it or something like that. Again, tiny little things. You send it in the mail, a physical card. I definitely say send them a physical card or a physical gift if you can. I guarantee you that one act throughout your year will help your relationship get stronger with your production music library. It absolutely will. Again, you're not expecting this to mean that they're going to now include you on a whole bunch of stuff, or you don't expect, well, I gave you that Christmas gift, so where are all my placements this year? If that's your attitude with it, don't even do this. Don't even get started with it. But I can tell you how few producers actually do this tiny little thing, which costs almost nothing, but is absolutely a game changer for the social lubrication, let's say it. It'll allow you guys to feel a little bit more intimate, rather than just kind of cold business partners transacting back and forth, every so often piercing through that veil and turning into sort of, quasi coworker friendship in a way. All right. Of course, sometimes I do believe, of course, in very strict lines between coworkers and friends and all that kind of stuff. We won't get into those specifics, but these are the things that you guys can all be doing right now. If you're working with a library, or when you start working with a library, hopefully, maybe after watching that video, you can do these things to basically keep yourself at the top of mind and make your own way and your own path in this business. Some of these tips are obviously ones that I use, but some of these are also coming from Anthony Crawford, who was our kind of star sync licensing producer at SyncUp, who shared with us that his royalties went from, I think it was $250 about a year and a half ago to now almost $10,000, doing exactly what I just told you in this video, which was not waiting for anybody, making suggestions, reaching out to his library partners, being consistent, continuously staying productive, and cranking out high quality tracks, the best quality tracks that he possibly could, and being useful for us production music libraries. That's how he very quickly, it's very rare to see the results that he's got. I want to make sure you guys are clear on that. It's possible, as you know, but not normal, okay? But I do believe the biggest reason why he is able to do that is this just winning mindset that he's got, which is that I'm not waiting for anybody. I'm carving my own path, and I'm going to make myself known to these library partners, and I'm going to make myself relevant to them on a very consistent basis. So hopefully that's useful for you guys. Stay tuned. I have a couple of really powerful videos coming up for you right after this video goes live, okay? One of them is going to be on the pros and cons of sending all of your music to multiple libraries simultaneously. I know some of you guys are impatient and you want to send 5 tracks to 20 different companies at once and see who gets back to you, versus picking one company at a time for those 5 tracks and kind of giving each one a week or two to get back to you. Takes a little bit longer to do it that way. There are pros and cons to both approaches. I'm going to try to give you guys the full 360 view so you guys can decide for yourselves how you want to approach this business. But at least with eyes wide open, you know what your risks and benefits are for each approach. And secondly, I have yet another successful sync licensing producer who I'm going to bring on the channel, who was able to go from just getting into sync licensing to having it be his full-time focus in 4 years. So again, not usual, not normal. That's a fairly quick timeline, to be honest with you guys. But again, just wanted to show you guys more examples of how this industry is providing full-time income, full-time focus for many sync licensing producers and composers just like you. And no, they didn't get started back in 2008 like me. They're getting started in 2014, 2016, 2018, 2020. These are people, especially Anthony, he only got started like 3 or 4 years ago. So these are people that are getting started relatively recently. So it gives me very great hope and encouragement that there's still amazing promise for this industry, and the good old days are not behind us. There's still amazing promise for all of you guys. So please do make sure you click on like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe. I'd appreciate that. And definitely don't miss those 2 videos coming up. They're going to be really, really powerful for you.